What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. And I got a serious question for you. Did Darth Vader have to kill a gray Jedi in order to get the kyber crystal to build his lightsaber? Now, I know I'm probably coming out of left field for some of you because you guys know that I've never been a fan of the term gray Jedi. I did a video on it back in late October or early November where I asked the question, will Ezra Bridger become a gray Jedi? And what I said in that video is that, well, gray Jedi don't really exist. One, it's an idea from the Legends canon, so it's not canon at all. But even then, the term was always a bit clouded. There's never been a clear definition of what a gray Jedi is. But this question is something based on the canon. Did Darth Vader kill a gray Jedi? Have gray Jedi been introduced? I'm going to say that's a bit of a loaded term. One of the ideas of the gray Jedi was like Qui-Gon Jinn, where he went against the wishes of the Jedi Council. He kind of did his own thing, basically meaning he walked away from the wishes of what the Jedi Council chose, or he didn't always side with their decisions. So that's kind of a gray Jedi, and I use that with parentheses because that idea actually has been introduced. So let's step back and give you some background information. So in the first Darth Vader comic book that came out in this ongoing Vader comic book series, we pick up right after the events in The Revenge of the Sith. Vader and Palpatine are still down there. Vader has just been placed in the suit, learned of the death of Padme Amidala, or Padme Skywalker, his wife, and what he believes is the loss of his child as well. He force chokes his master Palpatine and receives a nice little gift of Ride the Lightning, that Force lightning from Palpatine, where Palpatine says, if you ever touch me with the Force again, you will die. And Palpatine says, okay, now you need to construct your lightsaber. This has to be a Sith lightsaber, and the only way that you can do that is you have to go and find a Jedi, defeat them in combat, take their kyber crystal and bleed your pain, your anger, your hate into that kyber crystal to produce that red blade. So Vader sets off and he's looking for a Jedi who survived Order 66. Now that's difficult because what they believe based on their records is there aren't any survivors, so it's going to be very difficult. I don't want to spoil this new comic book for you guys because I want you to go out and read it. I'm going to place a link down below where you can purchase it from Amazon if you don't have a subscription, or if you want to read the next couple of issues where we see Vader face off with this parentheses gray Jedi. And what he sets out to do is locate the Jedi assignments before Order 66 was executed. What he finds when he searches the records at a Jedi outpost way out in somewhere in the freaking outer rim is that there were Jedi who left the Jedi Order prior to the Clone Wars. Some who even left prior to the events in the Phantom Menace before Anakin Skywalker ever even set foot on Coruscant. So what we learn is there's a thing called the Barash Vow, right? Any Jedi pursuing the Barash has sworn to refrain from activities related to the Jedi Order. This is why I said there are Jedi who completely go against the Order. They refrain from any activities or participating in anything that the Jedi Order decides they're going to participate in, like the Clone Wars. And these individuals will have complete disengagement from anything but the Force. So they basically go into self-exile. They become a type of hermit, and the only thing they do is study the Force. A Barash taker would have felt the purge, meaning Order 66, the Jedi Purge, but they would not have allowed themselves to respond or take actions of any kind. They're like a non-conscientious objector. Even though they sense a disturbance in the Force or ripple in the Force, they will take no action because they have cut themselves off from the Jedi Order. all of the decisions and everything going on in the galaxy related to Jedi business. They're literally some type of hermit just observing from afar. So we learn of a Jedi who took this Barash vow, and Vader says that this is kind of like a purgatory or something, like they're paying penance, possibly from past deeds. And we learn of this one particular Jedi who has been in exile for decades, and his name is Kirak Infal'a. He didn't take part in any diplomacy, any training, or any research going on at the Jedi Temple. Jedi Master Kirak Infal'a, actually he may not have become a master because it sounds like he didn't take on a Padawan ever. So Jedi Knight Kirak Infal'a's sole purpose was to fight. So when we relate this back, I'm using a term from the video games, he was some kind of Jedi warden or a Jedi blade master. His only purpose was to fight. He was skilled at combat. And when you think about the things that people attributed to Mace Windu, when they said, well, he uses form 7 and he has to walk the balance, walk the line between the light side and the dark, none of that information is canon anymore. If you don't believe me, check Wikipedia. The only thing concerning form 7 is that it is both a Jedi and a Sith fighting style, lightsaber combat form. But if you take those ideas and apply them to Jedi Knight Kirak Infal'a, it sounds like he participated in a lot of battles. Those battles we don't know because his history, his time with the Jedi predates anything that we've seen in the canon so far. But I believe that this guy did something so bad that he was walking a very razor's edge between the dark and the light, that maybe he did something so bad that he divorced himself from the Jedi because maybe he was following the orders of the Jedi Council. They forged him into a weapon, and for this reason he needs to pay penance. And so we're going to see Vader tested when they have their big showdown. Vader's got to fight this guy. He's got to kill him so that he can get the kyber crystal from his lightsaber, and it's going to be something amazing. I cannot wait to see how this is going to turn out. Well, of course we know how it's going to turn out, but I can't wait to see this battle. I can't wait to see Vader in his prime, like Vader unleashed, literally. I mean, this last comic book issue, we saw Vader use the Force to prevent a grenade or a thermal detonator from exploding in his face. And then he managed to force choke 3 clone troopers at the same time when they didn't. The clone troopers who have fought side by side with Jedi didn't think it was possible. But remember, Vader's no Jedi, right? And in his mind, his ability to tap in and use the Force as a tool is without limit. So what do you guys think about this? Are you reading the Darth Vader comic book? And if not, has this whet your appetite to check it out and see what it's about, to see the story of Darth Vader, to see Darth Vader completely unleashed? And how do you feel about this inclusion of what people have been wanting, this idea of a Jedi who leaves the Order and they go into exile and devote themselves only to studying the Force? And I'm asking all of that because that sounds exactly like what Luke Skywalker has decided to do when he goes into exile on Ahch-To, right? So nothing, I don't think anything is introduced just for one reason. There are ripples that are felt throughout the galaxy, throughout the canon, because we have a canon, so things have ways of popping up later. This could be something hinted at what we're going to learn in Star Wars Episode 8. So let me know your thoughts on all of this down below, and I'll be checking back to see what you all have to say. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Dedicate yourself to taking the steps to become the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Continue to support the channel. Check out some of the other videos that I posted recently. I'm really trying to hit Star Wars hard again, and I've got some other projects, but those are going to be on other channels, and I'll make a video to explain all of that later on today. But that's all I've got for this one. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.